Watch movies.
Welcome back to the Watch Movies podcast.
Yep.
I'm here with Kens and
Alan.
Alan.
I'm
And
here.
Alan, Alan's
Alan's
here too.
over there.
Alan's
He's
here
off
too.
camera.
Kens, we did it, dude.
We fucking
We
did
saw
it.
it.
It happened.
Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer happened yesterday.
Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer. It's funny, dude.
What a day. What a day in cinema. Two, it's hilarious because we got to the 10:30. So we saw Oppenheimer first at 10:30
Yep.
at AMC.
Yep.
Dex had already seen it the night before, so he was there in spirit. But
Yeah.
He had
or
to work.
Ken, sorry.
Yeah, Ken saw it early.
The Ken and that Ken over there and Alan. I'm just gonna start using real names here in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm
It
already
doesn't
confused.
matter.
I'm
Just
already
say Ken.
confused.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I care.
Okay.
All right. Saw a
Damn.
10:30
Ken
showing.
cares, dude.
Oppenheimer dressed in all black, drinking coffee. We were feeling the Oppenheimer mood early in the
Yeah.
morning. Saw that. Then we had some lunch. Got in all pink. Went and saw a 4:10 showing of Barbie with Dex. We saw it all for the first time in a theater full of people,
It was awesome.
all
good-
wearing
good crowd.
pink.
Good
There was a
crowd.
bunch of people
Yeah.
wearing pink and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, "This is badass."
There were some
dude.
folks who went all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
of the chicks were showing out.
I
fucking-
kind of thought we were going
They-
to stand out because we were the ones, we did the whole all pink thing. And I thought we would walk in and people would be like, oh, haha.
We underdressed.
We underdressed.
We underdressed for
There
sure.
was like cowboy, pink, Ken. And
there was
like
a
all this
dude.
stuff.
Yeah, there was a dude that had like a sparkly cowboy hat. and
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
like,
sick.
that's fucking awesome.
I was like, I should have rocked that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, I should have stopped at like a Party City or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
before I
I'll get
came
a
over here.
sparkly
Yeah,
cowboy
dude.
hat and some like pink little gun, like revolvers, and be like pew pew,
Cowboy
like doing
Ken.
that thing.
Yeah.
What a good time.
Try to go all out next time. Maybe they'll make a sequel.
They definitely,
They're definitely making a sequel.
making a sequel.
It's
They have
banging.
to.
It's fucking it's raking at the box office right
Or
now.
at
So
least a
they'll-
Ken spinoff is coming. At least.
Dude.
My prediction is they make another movie that's called Ken,
yeah,
and
That's-
it's a
be so
kind of
funny.
kind of an opposite of Barbie, but same kind of way.
Maybe.
Let's look. Oppenheimer was so good. I want to talk about Barbie.
Yeah.
Like, I
You want
want
to talk about Barbie first?
Yeah, like I want to talk about Barbie because,
Go ahead, Ken.
dude. Thanks, Alan. The thing is about this movie is like, we were talking about it yesterday. Obviously, after we saw it, I had so much fun. Like that was like the most fun
Very
I've had
fun.
in a theater in a long
Very
time.
fun.
Long time.
Our theater was good. The crowd was into it and laughing a lot, and really invested in it.
Great crowd.
Yeah, it was just so much fun. Like everyone was just having a blast, and we all walked out just feeling good. It was
Yeah.
just, it was great.
Really happy we saw that.
Yeah.
I think the last time I felt like just that happy leaving a movie theater was Endgame. Like
Yeah,
the whole crowd. We
Yeah.
talk about the MCU at every podcast.
yeah, but
Yeah.
But
That
like,
buzz.
Yeah, the buzz, the crowd has been like, oh, what a good fucking film.
yeah, we're like that was so worth the time and effort and money or whatever put into it. It was just a good time.
Yeah, and you love a hot crowd at a movie theater.
Yeah,
Not with
of
people
course.
like just talking, but like
yeah,
engaging with the
Yeah.
movie.
Laughing is what, like laughing, like, oohing and ahhing sometimes.
yeah.
And there were a lot of laughs because let me tell you, this movie surprised me with how fucking funny it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was very fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like maybe one of the funniest movies I've seen in a theater in a while.
Dude, yeah, easily the funniest movie of this year so far.
yeah.
And
For
probably
sure.
of the last like 2 or 3 years, honestly.
Maybe more.
Do you,
I
do you
mean,
think they'll put it in the category as a comedy movie?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah.
for sure
It
it'll
has
for
to be a
sure
comedy,
win
right?
if it
Yeah,
is.
it's a comedy. Obviously, I don't know what else it could be, but there's also there's other aspects of it. I
'Cause,
mean,
yeah, it's not really like a children's
Children-
movie.
yeah,
either.
It's like a
Yeah.
fantasy comedy. It's PG-13, which I
Yeah.
knew that going in. I was like, what are they?
that's such a crazy choice too. Well, that's another thing is like, it's one thing I loved, and when I heard about this Barbie movie, and it was like on the surface, you're like a Barbie movie, especially when it got announced. I'm like, look, I'm not. That's great. I'm not gonna go see it. Then you hear Greta Gerwig is directing it. And that
Like,
changes.
ooh.
Yeah.
And Noah Baumbach's writing it with her. Like,
Yeah.
that changes the whole stratosphere
Yeah,
of
it's
this
like,
movie.
oh, there's gonna be some craftsmanship in it, and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, the two leads, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, sold customer,
Yeah, no,
Sold
I'm
customer.
there.
sold
Is
customer.
that the two best casting choices in the history of cinema?
Dude, it's so perfect.
It's so perfect.
They could not have picked that any
Yeah.
better.
Who do you think? All right, I was thinking about this. If this movie got cast, let's say this movie was made in 2010, who gets cast as Ken and Barbie?
2010.
2010.
2010.
All right, because I'll give you who I think like 100%.
I have mine.
Ken would have been Zac Efron
Oh yeah.
in like 2011.
That's probably better than mine.
It's funny. He could have been Zac Efron this time.
It's
Like,
true.
I'm so
Yeah, because
they're
surprised,
like the same age.
Zac
He would have
Efron
been a
wasn't
really
Ken.
good Ken to have there.
Ryan Gosling's probably older.
Ryan
Ryan
Gosling's way
Gosling
older.
well older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, he
He's
could have played
40
him,
something, right? Yeah.
But
or he at least could have been in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he wasn't in the movie. Now that
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, Zac Efron would have been perfect.
Because like John Cena had that cameo and like that rules. But
Maybe
yeah,
he's working on something else. Couldn't. But if they make a Ken movie, cast him.
you gotta,
Yeah, get him in
have
there.
Zac
Yeah.
Efron.
he's like
think-
a new Ken or something.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
I think that's the perfect go. But
Yeah.
I think my cast would be Chris Pine.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
That would have been a really
Mine is-
good one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Significantly better actor.
Yeah, by a
Maybe
lot.
I don't know how about
You
singing.
don't
He can
listen.
sing.
Ryan Gosling is so talented. To play this role, you don't have to be good. You
Yeah.
really
Ah,
don't
here's
have
the
to be
deal.
that good.
to
Well,
make it memorable, you do
Yeah,
have to be
to
good.
nail the
True. Yeah,
because somebody
that's
could
true.
have played this and it could have been just fine.
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
nailed so many of the like the subtleties and the movements that just elevated it to
Yeah.
like one of the most memorable roles of the year.
That's true.
Because yeah, I think you can have someone who's like doing this and it's still funny, but Ryan Gosling, I was like sitting in my seat just cracking up
Dude,
at everything he said. Like,
Every
you can
line.
you
is
can have
funny.
someone do this and get like a couple ha-has, but like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like fucking
Every-
guffawing.
Every movement on his face, like it just was. God.
Ryan Gosling might be the funniest person to walk the earth as far as I'm concerned, because his simple line deliveries
that's a lot.
of
Okay,
it's a clear joke. It's a clear joke, but yeah, obviously he's not the funniest person to ever walk the earth. But I was just saying because like even when he was like, "Can I come to your house tonight?" and she's like, "Sure." I have this whole blowout plan, choreography, and everything. He goes, "So cool." I like
So
looked at
cool.
Noah and I was like, "Okay,
Yeah,
this
we're
is
in.
gonna be
Fucking
fucking
movie.
funny, dude."
So
Just
cool.
because of like the way he said that, I'm like, I am in this, dude.
Also, what I love, one of the funnier things to me, we talked about this yesterday, but them calling beers brewski beers. Give me a brewski beer.
and the what was it, the Mojo Dojo Casa House?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mojo
Mojo
Dojo
Casa
Casa
House.
House.
all the cool ways to call a house, like cool manly thing to call a house. He calls them all. Yeah, there's horses. Like they like think horses are like religious. Like they love like worship
they-
horses.
Horses
Yeah.
and trucks.
Obviously-
Like the coolest shit ever.
We should preface this. We're gonna get into spoiler territory
Yeah, yeah.
because we're assuming that most people who are watching this
Spoiling the fuck
I've
out of it.
seen, the
have seen
movie,
both
yeah.
movies.
All right, we're spoiling the fuck out of these movies. I don't go watch the movies.
But
Like,
when-
try not
when
to
you
Also
watch the
hard to
movies.
spoil Barbie. Like it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
it's more of
Yeah.
just like the jokes that land and everything.
Yeah.
It's gonna be harder to spoil Oppenheimer because obviously
He did
fucking
it.
based on
You
a
know
Well,
true
that's
the
story.
true,
story.
and it's so both movies are so like the actual what happened, like the plot that could be spoiled is so complex. You can't
Yeah.
really spoil it with like
Yeah,
two words.
yeah, right.
Like
True.
a lot
Also,
happens.
and we'll get into Oppenheimer in a minute. I don't want to like go back and forth. The thing is, Oppenheimer did have a pretty big twist, in my opinion. Like for me,
Actually,
like,
if you don't
sure,
know
yeah.
history,
I didn't know that
Yeah.
part of the history.
I didn't either.
of it.
I was like, no way.
Yeah.
They're like, it
Yeah.
actually happened.
I was-
I like how they preface the climax. They put the climax on that
Yeah, yeah.
because it was something I had no
I
idea.
didn't know about it all.
If the climax was like, "Oh, is the bomb test actually going to happen?" Or like,
Yeah, I'd be like, well, we
obviously.
know it happened.
Yeah. Robert
Yeah.
Downey Jr.'s character, I had no idea existed.
Me
Like,
neither.
ever.
I'd never heard of that man ever in my whole life.
But
Anyway, back to
Yeah.
Barbie.
yeah, back to Barbie.
back to Barbie.
When he was like, I kind of lost interest in the patriarchy after I found out it wasn't all about horses.
Which like fair, honestly.
Yeah, very, very fair.
Well, I mean, the one thing I loved about the movie is Barbie World or Barbie Land. I forgot Barbie Land. I think that's what
Barbie
it's
Land.
called.
Yeah.
It looks fucking sick.
It
like
does,
set
yeah.
design,
Set design.
production, all stellar.
yeah.
Looks great. They fucking obviously there's a budget to this, but they made it look like there was a budget.
Yeah.
It's not all like green screen, which I fucking appreciated. Some of it was, obviously when they were like traveling, like doing the
Yeah,
Buddy
but
the
it all
Elf.
felt very real.
It
Like,
felt
their-
very silly
yeah,
and
the
real.
world
Like they
felt
weren't
real.
trying to make it look like fucking Narnia or anything
Yeah.
like that. It was like it's funny, kooky Barbie Land. Like
Yeah.
the sea is like plastic. you
Yeah,
know?
this
Shout
is
out-
plat- oh,
Sorry, I was gonna shout the cinematographer
Yeah.
on this. Rodrigo Prieto.
Okay.
He's Mexican born, and like people were really
Oh, cool.
excited and happy about it.
Shouts.
You would never guess the other movies he's cinematographer on with that style.
Yeah.
Cinematographer on The Irishman,
Wow.
Boy.
The Wolf of Wall Street, Brokeback Mountain, Babel,
Damn.
and Argo.
He took a fucking he was like, I'm gonna change up my career a little. Like,
Yeah, no,
I'm
that's
gonna do
badass.
Barbie.
Like he does all these darker movies, and then he did Barbie, and
That's
the way it
nuts.
was shot and the lighting, it was just amazing.
I love the like the little touches too that they did, like with the fact that when they're in Barbie Land, they don't actually ever pour out any liquid or there's nothing they're actually eating.
So
She
fake.
doesn't walk
Yeah.
down the stairs.
No, she doesn't walk down. And like, I loved that. I loved the entirety of Barbie Land. And like, I liked how when they were in the car, like if they crashed, like if you like crash in a car when you're playing with toys as a kid, you know, you don't just when you go to the side of the road, like it would flip over and
Yeah.
land right on the wheels.
The
and
element
stuff.
of like how
Yeah.
things would happen when you're playing.
Like it was like they were being like, it was very like genuinely like kids are playing with them and this is how it goes. And like every little detail.
Yeah, I knew nothing about like I knew Kate McKinnon was in the movie. I didn't know like who she was or what she
Yeah.
was doing.
Yeah.
But the weird Barbie shit worked for me every
It's
time.
so
dude.
funny.
I mean, every character, like everyone was fucking funny as shit. Kate McKinnon
Yeah.
is so funny,
Yeah.
and her being weird Barbie was just, I'm like, God, Greta, fucking good shit. Also, they're like childhood friends, or not? They're like they kind of grew up together or like worked very early on together.
Kate
Which,
and Greta?
yeah, which is I was like,
I
all
know,
right,
that's
that's
cool.
interesting because
That's
like
really cool.
also kind of shows because she was like, hey, I know exactly what character you need to play. And fucking
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I just fucking love like
the
Margot
weirdo.
Robbie being like, "I'm gonna be ugly like you," and her being like, "Thanks."
And she was like, thanks. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah.
I love Kate McKinnon so much. Like, and like ever since, I mean, obviously her SNL stuff's been so good. And whenever I heard she was going to be in this, I didn't know what her role was going to be, but they couldn't have picked a more perfect thing for her to do.
Yeah,
was
all the casting very well done. Again, biggest standout. You know, it's funny. Ken for me it was a standout in a Barbie movie,
Yeah.
but it just, I mean, he was so fucking. Ryan Gosling was so funny.
Yeah, well,
I had tears in my
yeah,
eyes at one point.
Yeah. Yeah.
we gotta say Margot Robbie is fucking phenomenal.
Margot is
She-
perfect. Like, she's so
I mean,
good.
no-
one of
to
the,
no-
one of the
to no-
best actresses working.
To no one's
today,
surprise,
honestly.
really. That's a professional right there. That's a pro.
Yeah. And also another joke that just landed so perfectly is Helen Mirren's narrating the whole thing, and they're doing, they're doing a thing like, Margot's Barbie wasn't really wearing like makeup or anything.
She's like, I don't feel pretty.
yeah,
and
she's like,
stuff.
I don't feel pretty and like stuff like that, and they're like, no, you're pretty, you're so beautiful, exactly how you are. And then Helen Mirren's like, by the way, note to filmmakers, Margot Robbie's the worst choice.
Margot Robbie
Yeah.
tried to make this point is
Yeah,
or whatever.
because she's just the most perfect looking
yeah.
human.
I know. Oh my
So
god, is she
good.
perfect looking?
Wait, all right, I do want to go back to who plays Barbie in the 2011 movie.
Ooh,
Hayden Panettiere or something.
No way.
maybe.
Maybe.
No
but
way.
Hayden Panettiere and Zac Efron would have gone triple platinum on the Disney Channel. but-
Yeah, 100%.
like,
It would, but
got
I'm
it.
just trying to think who was.
Anne Hathaway.
Fuck
I-
no.
I can see it.
No.
I can't believe y'all are Anne Hathaway haters.
I mean, I'm not an
I-
Anne Hathaway.
I-
Whoever
I-
said I'm an Anne Hathaway.
She's
I'm not-
beautiful and can sing and has comedy chops.
You put some respect on Academy
I'm not a
Award
huge. I'm
winner,
not like
I
a huge.
won't.
Anne
What?
Hathaway.
She didn't
I
need to
just won't.
sing though.
I don't care.
She didn't need to sing it.
Oh, that's true. She doesn't
Margot
sing.
didn't.
Margot
sing.
didn't sing.
Brian was the one who played.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
sing
just
multiple
kidding.
songs, dude. Sing Push, Matchbox 20.
Yeah.
Fucking, I love that. They were just like, just sing. And he was like, all right, I've done it before.
I think it's a good choice. Though.
Anne
I can see
Hathaway,
them
I think
doing
it's a
that.
solid choice.
Yeah, I think they could do
I'm
that.
trying to just think of blonde actresses that were going off around then. For me personally, if you had young B. Coops as Ken, funny because he had just come off a Hangover.
like
around then.
Hangover. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
have been good. Yeah.
Well, but-
he would have killed that too.
I don't know. He has to play like dumb, and around then he was like alpha male
Mm-hmm.
type characters and like comedies. So they would have been like,
It's kind of
Hey,
what
he-
Ryan's been doing though.
Yeah, but he can play
True.
that dumb. He can play dumb.
Who, Ryan?
No.
B. Coop? Yeah, he can play very
sure.
Honestly,
You know
like
who could have made it fucking hilarious in 2011? Justin Long.
Justin Long. is
he
Ken.
would
Okay.
have played it, Ken.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
he would have been very.
He would have
fucking
been.
funny,
Yeah,
too.
he would have been like seemingly used part. Or
Yeah,
something
or
like
he
that.
would honestly. He
Make
would
him
have been
Allan.
a great Allan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Justin
he would have
Long
been. He would
is
have been a
Allan.
great Allan.
Oh, also Michael Cera, he's back.
He's hilarious. in this
Please,
movie.
please. There was a scene where they were getting all the Barbies are kind of like brainwashed. Remember that? And they're trying to
Yeah.
get all of them, snap them out of fucking Kinland. And he was like in the car with them. He's like, someone took a picture of it and put it on Twitter. He's like, he's just one of the girls, and he was in the bag wearing sunglasses and a pink fucking tracksuit. And just seeing him do that, I'm like, oh my god, that's so fucking funny.
Every
such a
time.
funny frame to see.
Every time he was on the screen was hilarious. Like there's a scene where he's like just beating the fuck out of some random like construction workers. Or
Oh,
something.
he started beating people up.
It was like, this is awesome.
Started beating people up. There, I mean, kind of the
Hey,
humor.
more violence than in Oppenheimer.
Hell,
Yeah,
would.
no, they
Oh,
needed
yeah,
more
by a
stunt
lot.
coordinators for that than Oppenheimer for sure.
Absolutely.
I like Issa Rae in this movie too. She was
Yeah.
really funny as the president. Oh, she dropped a motherfucker.
Yeah, that was
She's
coming out of
She
nowhere.
was like running out of fucking patience.
And they used the Mattel logo to censor her. That
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
funny, dude. Like every little thing they did in this movie was just perfect to me.
yeah,
Like,
and the
it
girl
was-
from Sex Education was in it as well.
Yeah.
Emma
What's her
Mackey.
Emma Mackey? Yeah,
Yeah.
she's funny. She's great.
You know what's interesting to me? Speaking of Mattel, they produced or they helped produce this movie. They were just like criticizing themselves the whole time.
Love it.
Yeah.
They're
great.
like, and I'm sure like the criticisms that they're making about themselves were criticisms back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was just all men running the corporation and stuff.
Probably
about
still is,
yeah.
like when the demographic is like women, little girls
we
and
made
stuff.
little
Like,
girl toys. And
but
they're
I'm
all
sure
men
they've
or
changed
whatever.
that up to like.
Well,
'cause there's no way they're like, yeah, no, we're
Yeah,
like
'cause all
that.
that- yeah.
I'm
I
sure.
hope.
I'm sure in the past few, 5-10 years,
Yeah.
It's changed.
they
significantly.
their corporate structure changed and
Yeah.
they kind of like it reminds me of, you remember when a couple of years ago Carl's Jr. Made like a commercial that was like making fun of the fact that every Carl's Jr. commercial for the past 10 years has just been like a chick in a bathing suit
Just
on
some hot chick.
Yeah.
eating a burger. So like making fun of themselves a little. It's a little bit like that. Like the moment where Will Ferrell's like, they're talking about that, like, why is there not a woman CEO? And he's like, we've had one
Yeah, right.
or two.
We had one
At
in the
some
90s
point.
for sure.
Yeah,
and
there
we
was one
had
in the 90s.
another one, I think.
That's
so
the one
that's
we
two.
haven't really brought him up either. Will Ferrell's
No,
funny.
he
He's not in it very
nailed
much,
it.
but when he is, he's funny. Like whenever the whole bit through the movie where the pregnant Barbie got discontinued, and he
so-
runs out and sees her, and he's like, oh,
It honestly might be his funniest performance in a movie in
a while.
A little
A little
bit.
bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Will Ferrell,
Yeah.
He's one of the funniest actors ever. Like,
Yeah.
let's just say that. Though we don't bring this up enough, his filmography has some fucking stinkers. And
Some of it is
it-
nasty.
it's really come
Yeah.
from like the last 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Stinkers.
Well,
this is a good one for him to kind of pick himself back
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I mean, there's some. I think when you come from sketch comedy, that happens because you're used to trying a lot of different shit,
Yeah, right.
and like you're not like, you don't have like a thing in your head saying, well, I want to make sure I pick the right projects and like my film, like you're
Right,
just like
I'm trying.
you're just
new
like, oh,
shit.
that's funny, I'm gonna do that,
Hey,
and
Will
sometimes it
Ferrell,
works, sometimes it doesn't.
all of those like comedians from like not back in the day, but like that generation of comedians, all of them huge bag chasers.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
No, they were about.
They will do
Yeah,
anything.
100%.
He probably
Holmes and Watson.
he probably was like went to his desk, saw a Barbie script on his desk from his agent. It was like, fucking Barbie, big budget Barbie movie. Okay, I'll be in it. That's a check right there. And then probably walked up on set and was like, this is fucking good, I think.
I actually thought the opposite. Weirdly, I thought like Will Ferrell probably was like, "Hey, they want you to play the exec at Mattel in this Barbie movie, do the thing again like they did in Lego Movie where you're the real world guy." And then I feel like he was probably like, "Nah," and then he read it and then probably talked to Greta and Noah Baumbach about it and was like, "Oh." And you have Margot and I will do this. This is gonna be good. Because when you, like you said, like when you hear on the surface what they're making a live action Barbie movie, you're like, okay,
It sounds dumb.
it sounds awful. And then you read that script and you see what they're trying to do, and you're like, oh, this is fucking perfect.
To be fair, he is a big producer now. That's where he
True.
spends most of his time.
Oh, do you think he produced some of it?
I'm not sure, but he does
have those connections.
He has
like-
41 upcoming projects. between producing, acting,
That
and all that
is
stuff.
chasing the bag. I
He's just
respect it.
he's making shit. He's just making all
Real
bunch of
quick,
stuff.
we got to talk about America Ferrera, my queen from Ugly Betty.
Yeah, yeah.
shout out.
Oh yeah,
She was really good.
really good, and I really liked her character. They didn't. Normally, movies like this have a problem where like you try to bring in like the real world people and they kind of suck.
Yeah.
Especially when one of them is like a teenager.
Yeah.
It's like the teenager always just kind of that little asshole no one likes.
Yeah, I'm glad
But
they
they
didn't.
avoided that.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't
So
harp
glad.
on that too much.
Mm-hmm.
They like touched on it enough to where you
you
got
get
the
it.
you got the backstory, you know their relationship,
right.
but they weren't just like continuously like, oh, she keeps being an asshole, or like, or like they keep having arguments. Like they never had a really an argument the whole movie, but you still got that tension just from subtle stuff in the backstory.
Right.
You didn't need them to have like an explosive argument on the screen.
I'm so glad they went the route where she's actually like the owner of the Barbie.
Yeah, it was a good.
American
There was a
Girl.
lot of good
Because
twists
when
like that.
she was when Barbie Margot Robbie was talking to the kid, I was like, oh, is this where we're gonna go with the movie? And we're gonna be hanging out
that
with
was
this
a
kid.
whole movie. That would suck.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
we're gonna be hanging out with this little asshole teenager on it, like respectfully.
Yeah.
Because teenagers are assholes.
To be honest, if it was made in 2011, like we were talking about,
It
that's
would've been.
probably
It's
what it would've
exactly
been.
Yeah,
what it
and I
was.
was like, no. And then they were like, actually, it's the mom. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, no, fucking
Yeah.
cool. Because honestly, relatable. Because she was like, I fucking, she also worked for Mattel, right? She was like the drawer.
Yeah.
But she's kind of like, fucking, she's like a strong character, and she like has been there, done that.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
has experience in the world as a woman, and she brings that like experience. And I'm like,
Yeah.
And
I
it just
understand.
makes so much more sense for someone America Ferrera's age to be obsessed
Yeah,
with Barbie.
rather
Exactly.
than
Yeah,
somebody
exactly.
that grew up
Girl.
in like 2010.
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
yeah,
like, it just
Yeah.
makes so
I
much
didn't
more
realize
sense.
it was Ugly Betty.
Yeah, that's
I didn't. That's cool.
The,
I used to
uh,
love that show.
what I can appreciate about the movie as a whole is just so many layers and nuance that like elevates it. Like we were saying, if this movie was made in the 90s, it for sure would have opened up with some vague set piece of Barbie, and then something happens and she gets sucked into the real world,
Yeah,
and then like an
Enchanted.
hour of the movie is spent
It's
with,
life size. It's
yeah,
Tyra Banks.
yeah, exactly. An hour of the movie is spent with her with this teenager,
Yeah.
and they're trying to like make food, or she's
I gotta
trying,
get back home.
oh, we got to
I
take
don't-
you to Ross and get you some real clothes, and there's a montage.
Yeah,
like,
and
yeah,
at the
they're
end,
like,
at the end, she's like, "I actually, I do like toys now.
Yeah.
I'm a little baby in my brain now because of you.
yeah,
Thanks, Barbie.
Like
I
this
didn't want
movie
this."
took that idea and just elevated it to just crazy levels of going back and forth between, like, oh my god.
And also I'm very glad that they kind of returned back to Barbie Land, or at that point it was Ken World or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
very glad they took it back pretty soon, because I was like, let's get back to
Yeah,
fucking,
that was the fun.
Yeah, they did.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, let's get back
Too
to
much
the
time
bright
in the real world.
set pieces and the fucking dancing
Yeah.
and choreography. Let's get back to that. And
When
we get
even the time they spent in the real world was like in that corporate office, which was still like funny. Like it was like
Yeah,
it was like
because it was a real world.
it was extra. Yeah,
It wasn't like that's what I loved
was-
about it.
when they were chasing her.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like whenever, dude,
Yeah, it was still silly and
it was
campy
so
and
like
cool.
whenever they were like that guy realized what happened, that the Barbie and Ken were out in the real world, and he was there the whole movie after that. But he was like, they were like, he was telling his coworkers like, this is really bad. I gotta go all the way to the top, and they were like, no one ever goes all the way to the top and stuff like that. And they get up there, and it was just like
the elevator says all the way
yeah,
up.
all the way up, yeah. And it was just like I was happy that even in the real world we weren't like dealing with normal people. It wasn't like no one was a regular person in that movie.
Quick question for y'all, real quick, because we were kind of talking about it after, and it made me laugh so hard because maybe I interpreted the joke the wrong way.
Uh-huh.
Was that not okay? You know when they're on the beach, Malibu Beach, and they're or wherever it was, Venice Beach or whatever,
I think
and they were walking, and she was like, Margot Robbie was like, they're all looking at me,
Mm-hmm.
and then Ken was like, yeah, me too. Like, was that not a tasteful gay joke?
it was.
No,
All
it
right,
was.
yeah,
there
I
was,
agree.
there was
All
a
right.
guy. There was a couple or two guys
Yeah,
that walked by,
yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I mean, like I fucking started laughing so hard because
Yeah,
I was like,
well, that's
you
exactly-
love
yeah, that's
fucking
what it
Yeah,
was.
gay joke,
and like
it's
Margot
fucking very
Robbie
funny.
is like, oh, like there's like a hint of violence and like the
Yeah,
looking
she's
at
like, there's
me.
a hint of violence
And
in
he's
it.
like, I'm not sensing any violence at all.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
yeah.
no,
He's like, I'm just seeking-
Ryan was like, it's just admiration.
Yeah, the Ryan Gosling, Margot Robbie together, fucking perfect. Also, the fact that the one thing I love, the fact at the end, Margot Robbie was like, I'm not in love with him, and he's like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah, like her
Because
friend zoning
like they
kid
don't
at the
they
end.
don't
Yeah.
need to be together.
No, I mean
Well,
that
doesn't
like him.
They talk about, there's a lot of people talking about the feminist message and it's woke, all that stuff. There's also a really good message in there for men, like about not like setting your identity on your girlfriend or whatever, like not making your whole identity be your significant other and
Yeah,
like finding
right.
out who you are
Well,
on
yeah,
your own.
yeah, and that was the whole like point of like both of them, and like they talked about the whole movie how like you don't need Ken. She doesn't need Ken. No one needs Ken. Doesn't need Barbie. But like they hang out because they like each other. But yeah, I think the message at the end.
Yeah,
was
and also like it's cool to just be friends.
Yeah,
with
just,
a girl.
just hang out.
I think at the end of the day, it's people are like, it's so woke, the feminist message attacking men, it's anti-men. No, it's fucking like it is more of just about the human nature than anything, in my opinion. Like this world, this society has set these kind of standards for what cool, like likable people need to be and stuff, and what powerful people need to be and all that.
Yeah,
like there's no what are those standards? Those are bullshit standards. Like being grounded. That's why like when she chose the Birkenstocks at the end of the movie instead of high heels.
Yeah.
You're grounded. You're not trying to be something higher, something better than you want to be. You're grounded. You're level with the ground. You are fucking just being a person. Like that's what I took it as that. I was like, and also Ken, he's like, I'm Kenough. You know, he's like, I don't need to be some all powerful.
Gotta get that hoodie.
All powerful man figure like where I'm controlling everything. I don't need to be lesser than because like I don't need to be at an attachment. Basically, I'm me. I'm grounded just like you. We're all people. Yeah. You know,
when like back when they were first filming this movie and like the set photos of like Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling and roller skates
on the beach
were out. Did y'all think we would be sitting here talking about the patriarchy? Like,
no,
watching Barbie?
I didn't know what they were gonna do, but I did not expect
me neither. I thought it was such a hilarious way to go about it. Like I was thinking about that earlier. Like I didn't expect Barbie to be anything like that. And then I heard the usual suspects on the internet being, "Oh, they fucking it's woke feminist bullshit." And I was like, "Oh, they're doing that. They're going that route to make these people mad, which is funny."
Yeah.
But then the way they did it was so funny. So
nobody was a villain.
No.
Like they didn't have like Ken be an actual like dickhead asshole. Like they didn't have him do anything super bad. He just was like figuring it out.
He just misunderstood something. He misunderstood.
He learned about this thing. And he was like, "Oh, this is how it is. Let's do this." And then he
even Will Ferrell, who
even
could
the
be the
guys,
they were like, "We're all
yeah."
cool.
I was expecting him to be like trying.
That's what I thought. I thought Will Ferrell was going to be the villain of the movie. He was going to, but even that, they were all cool together. They were fine.
But also Will Ferrell, he misunderstood like what Barbie actually was. He's like, just get in the box, get back in the box, go back to Barbie Land. And but he misunderstood what Barbie was actually becoming, which at the end is fucking crazy. I didn't know I did not know this is where the movie was gonna go. She becomes a human. Which I was like,
real boy.
I mean, at this rate, I wasn't questioning anything because they kind of set it. They set it up. They're like, this is Barbie Land. They're fucking toys being played with, and they have their own world and shit. And they're like, they can go into the real world.
Yeah,
they
go in the real world in a really ridiculous way.
Yeah, so you don't have to question it later when she becomes like a person.
Yeah.
But also, the scene where she does become a human, honestly, very heartfelt. Like I was like, I was gonna do it.
The editing there, the
Billie Eilish song playing in the
Billie Eilish
good.
the whole
really good
movies
job.
they put over it. Yeah, just really, really good.
Yeah, and like the quick montage of like
you're watching like a montage of like little girls playing and like women, doing cool shit.
I mean,
like,
I don't have
go girls.
Yeah, I don't have like any kids or like a daughter or anything. But if I did, watching those home movies, I would have probably been fucking
absolutely.
I would have been a mess.
I would have been an absolute mess.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's we spent about 40 minutes talking about Barbie. Let's
40 minutes.
Let's get into.
I mean, that's what's gonna happen. It's the Oppenheimer episode.
Let's get it. We'll get into Oppenheimer, and then after that, we will talk about both movies a little bit.
Okay.
But let's just get straight into thoughts on Oppenheimer.
Yeah, loved it. I absolutely loved Oppenheimer.
I've mulled it over. I have opinion on it. But go ahead. Sorry.
I loved it. I thought it was. It's what I kind of expected it to be.
Yeah.
I knew Nolan was gonna kill it. I knew he was gonna make something dope, something we were watching on IMAX, going, I just can't believe he captured this on a camera. You know what I mean? And I think, I really, that one's kind of, I feel like I have less to say about it just because it's such a heavy movie and there's a lot that goes on, and it's just, I don't know. But I liked it a lot.
That is generally how it goes, though. You usually talk more about a comedy than you
talk more about stuff that like surprises you.
Yeah, right. And less about like a 3-hour like.
But I have so much to say about Oppenheimer because
go for it.
To me, like, I walked out of that movie being like fuck, like this is why I love movies.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
insane that you're able to tell such a complicated story, right? Like making the atomic bomb, fucking insane, right?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
such a heavy thing. Like you can teach entire college courses on this, right? And all of the little like political backroom dealings that go on around building an atomic bomb.
Yeah.
A whole separate college course. Like,
Yeah,
you
right.
know, and all the little relationships dynamic.
Yeah.
Yet another college course
Yep.
on that, like
Yeah.
infidelity and love and
Yep.
relationships and blah blah blah. And Christopher Nolan, who we come to for fucking space spectacle and
Yeah, right.
you know, like dreams inside of dreams and shit.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to distill all of these very real human things that are so fucking big
Yeah.
and complicated, and just weave them into each other like seamlessly. And he's weaving timelines together seamlessly, and it's so fucking
Yeah.
good, and it just grabs you for 3 hours, gives you everything you need to know. It gives you every emotion that you need to hit, because like Oppenheimer is like, he comes up and he's like, oh, like I'm just a theoretical physicist,
Yeah.
I can't actually do shit.
Yeah.
And so you like have that ride with him of like, you can
When he
do
doesn't
it.
want to build that machine when he gets there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
like-
you can do this. Like, yeah, you're a smart guy. You're gonna do it, and then he
Yeah.
does it, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, you did it!"
Yeah.
But oh shit,
Yeah,
like you're about to
but-
ruin the fucking world.
But you just gave humanity pretty much the worst thing possible.
Yeah. So like you feel the high and the low
Yeah.
at the same time, and Christopher Nolan like did that to you, and also it looked cool as shit while he was doing it.
So
It's
cool.
just so good, and you can only get that from a visual medium like this. Like it's so fucking
Yeah.
nuts. I haven't read the book, so maybe like the book is just as good or
Yeah.
whatever, but
Yeah.
I came
Well-
out of that movie like, this is why I fucking love the movies.
Hard ass title for a book, by the way. American Prometheus.
Yeah.
Dude, that goes
Yeah,
so
That's
fucking hard.
badass, dude.
Yeah, I want to, and because I want to get your opinion, Garrett, obviously, but I want to mention this. It just shows, like, obviously, we didn't go into this movie being like, well, let's see what Nolan can do here. Is he, you know, we knew the kind of filmmaker he was,
Yeah.
but it's just the range that he has. Like you talking about, like we go to him for the space movies, the dream movies, the time and reverse movies, the fucking DC superhero movies,
Yeah.
dude. But then he just hits us with like this just character driven script and this character driven project that's just like, all right, 3 hours of people talking. Is this gonna work? And I mean, I haven't been that locked in on a movie in the theater in a long time.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those,
grabs
you cannot take your eyes off the screen almost. And it's just, Christopher Nolan, every time he gets another opportunity to do so, blows me away.
Except for Interstellar, you have it as 2 stars on.
I like
Letterboxd.
that is a mistake. I've always liked it. I haven't I just downloaded Letterboxd the first time in a long time. But
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, no. I was going into this movie thinking it was gonna be good, right? Obviously, because one thing I had been interested in is Christopher Nolan doing a character study. I think the closest he's gotten to real, genuine emotion from like characters is Interstellar, and he nails it in that. It was the first time I'd ever seen him like do that, and I was like, wow, he did a great job. The movie makes me fucking cry. It's like the one Christopher Nolan movie that makes me cry because it's just so raw, like how human nature is presented, you know, and how also the actors do a great job. Going into this, I was like very excited to see that. It just immediately thrusts you into Robert J. Oppenheimer's mind immediately. You know, like even the quick like, you know, like seeing the particles like combust, like microscopic particles just like combust and like rotate and shit. Like it's like kind of breaks up different scenes and like thoughts. It's all completely in his mind, which also Cillian Murphy fucking, that might be an Oscar. I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
that,
for sure.
That might be an. I mean, that's so much screen time and so much good like
At
talent.
the minimum a nomination, but
Minimum.
He's definitely. I mean, this movie honestly might get like 12 Oscar nominations.
yeah, it's probably
Especially if
phenomenal.
Dune actually gets delayed, then yeah, Oppenheimer
Yeah.
cleaned up.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The one thing that I was picking up on it is that it's involved, very involved, but it's a very complicated, it's a very complex story in history. It's a very important story in history. so many working parts, so many characters, so many things happening, and also takes course over from like 1928 to like I think it ends up. I don't know who. Oh, he saw LBJ. He saw Lyndon B. Johnson in the White House. So that's in the 60s. From going on 28 to 60s takes place over the span of years. So it's very involved. But like you said, Noah, it's been a while since I've been this locked in on a movie. You know, you don't want to take your eyes from the screen. You're afraid you're going to miss some important piece of information.
Yeah.
Some vital piece of information. And if God forbid that you do fucking zone out a little bit, you'll zone back in and be like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
Right. Yeah.
Pay attention. You know?
But I never found myself worried about that at all.
Yeah,
like
me
I
neither.
was never.
Me neither. I was dialed in. Even
I
when
wasn't even looking at my watch or anything. I was like just in.
Yeah. Even if I did go down and like check my phone or something like that, I would get back into it and I would still be. I know you mean, Garrett, because there's so much dialogue, but maybe I just got lucky. But there was never a point where I was
worried
like,
about that going.
Yeah,
into
me
it.
too. I was
because I heard it was very very, just dialogue heavy, and I was like, oh man, I hope I'm not like, it's 3 hours.
Yeah, of course. I hope I'm not sitting here.
But I found myself like just transfixed the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what good acting does. I mean, obviously the direction from Nolan is phenomenal, but when you're watching dialogue-heavy scenes, but with the best and the best actors working, the best working actors, Killian, RDJ, Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt, Jason Clarke, in that whole scene and Jason Clarke's a mad underrated actor. I know he's in Terminator Genesis. Don't blame him for that. That sucks, dude. That sucks for him. I get it, but the thing is, he's such a phenomenal actor, and that whole his whole like hearing, even though it wasn't a real hearing, it was in that like back room. Like anytime they were cutting to that, and also whenever the people we see throughout the movie are sitting there giving their testimony, and he's in the back corner just like looking at them, because like most of them are just talking mad shit the whole time. They were just shitting on him, except for a select few. Matt Damon is just killer in this.
I fucking love Matt Damon.
He's
dude.
so good.
Game manager. We were talking about this yesterday.
I will
He's
sit
a
and
game
listen
manager.
to Matt Damon give a monologue about anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I worked in air. It worked in this. It worked in Ford v Ferrari. It'll work every time. I will listen to a Matt Damon monologue.
Yeah, 100%.
About any fucking thing.
Especially, what the key to this. I was telling Garrett this. The key to a good Matt Damon role is let him have a little Southern accent. He's gonna bring it every time. He's gonna bring it every goddamn time. So good.
He like we said, he's a game manager. He's never gonna lose you the game. He's never gonna win you the game. But he will carry his load.
Yeah.
You put him in a scene, say, hey, we're gonna do this, we're saying that. You kind of you're like feeling this. All right, that's all you got to give him. He's killing that scene. Honestly, 1 or 2 takes. It's like, well, perfect. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matthew.
You ask Matt Damon for an 8 out of 10 difficulty, he's gonna give you 8 out of 10 performance.
Exactly.
You ask him for a 10 out of 10 difficulty, he's gonna give you a 10 out of 10 performance.
Yeah. You ask for The Martian, you're gonna get The Martian. You know what I mean? You're gonna ask for Ford versus Ferrari, you're gonna get Carroll Shelby in that movie.
You ask him to show up in a Thor movie for 30 seconds, he's gonna
Kill
kill
it.
it.
Perfect.
Killed it.
Perfect.
Killed that role.
Yep.
He'll do whatever.
Yeah.
I can be on Interstellar I can come shoot for a day.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
exactly.
I'm starting the Benny Safdie best supporting actor campaign at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because
He was so good.
He was.
fucking winning. We're winning because he had way more lines than Rami Malek.
We
Significantly
are winning
more
'cause
lines.
in another universe, Rami Malek plays that character instead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And not
people,
as good.
People who follow me know how I feel about Rami Malek, and it ain't good. But
Look, guys.
fortunately, he didn't bother me in this movie.
No, he was good. He was
well,
great.
you know why? Because he doesn't fucking talk.
Yeah.
He doesn't say
He doesn't
anything.
say
he's got
He
maybe
doesn't
like
say
Well, he does talk
few
at
lines.
one of the most pivotal
He
pivotal
does.
moments
He
in
has
the
like
movie.
one pivotal scene where he says a lot, and the
He's
rest of
talked
the
for
time
maybe 2 minutes of
Yeah.
a 3-hour movie.
he's just doing his
which is
fucking
great.
wide eye fucking.
I was hoping they wouldn't make him the fucking silly little scientist guy. Like, ooh, he's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, no,
Yeah.
he's just kind of a regular guy. And I'm like, okay, cool. But why are we paying Rami Malek a blank check probably to be in fucking like this amount of, I don't know.
He could be a fan. He could be a Nolan.
probably did it for
I
cheap.
think people were fucking psyched
Oh,
to be
yeah.
in this. They
I
were
think
like,
half of those actors asked to be in it rather than
For sure.
were
I
asked.
100%. I think they read the script because the script it's amazing. It's daunting.
Yeah.
It's like, God, it's so much. Like Cillian Murphy he said it on an interview. He was like, best script I've ever read, hands down. And RDJ said, best script, best movie I've ever been a part of. Like, they're just like hyping up their own shit. And I was like, really? Like, I can see reading the script. It's not the best movie I've ever seen, by the way. Like, I'm not going to fucking say it's better than like Citizen Kane and all that. I don't know, people have been saying that. Like, whoa, it's one of the. But reading the script or watching the movie, I can see how the script might look like, oh, wow, this is going to be a fucking American classic. Like, this is going to be a cultural impact in cinema. Like, immediately. I can see how they read that, especially Cillian Murphy, because he was like licking his fucking lips, like chomping at the bit to fucking play this, because he was like, this is my fucking chance to prove everyone that I am a big dog.
Clear out.
I'm about to
cook. I am a big dog. I will show you.
Well, back to the point of, you know, these actors being like, I just will do anything, dude. Like, they would work for free for Nolan. They would. And the thing is, Matt Damon, I saw in an interview, was talking about how him and his wife had been going through like troubles in their marriage, like kind of having to go to marriage counseling and stuff like that. And the reason being is that he was working so much. And so he was like, me and my wife were in marriage counseling, and we were I promised her I would take at least 2 years off of work, and we would just spend it with each other and whatever. And he was like, my only caveat was unless like Christopher Nolan is making a movie. And like 2 weeks later, Nolan was like, hey, you want to be in?
Nolan's a menace.
Dude, he is.
and
dude, and Matt was like, he was so scared to tell his wife that Nolan called to make a movie. Can you imagine, dude?
There's been a lot of these movies with like stacked casts like this, especially recently, and a lot of them end up like kind of sucking. Like, because another movie with Rami Malek in it, Amsterdam, the cast is fucking stacked. It's like Christian Bale, John David Washington, Margot Robbie.
I didn't even know he was in that.
Chris Tucker, Rami Malek, Taylor Swift's in it for a hot second. Right. Like, it's just all these fucking people. I don't remember who directed it. It was someone like
David O. Russell.
Yes,
he's a fraud. Fuck
he is.
That guy.
But you read the cast list and you're like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. Like, they have so many great people. Right. Then you watch the movie and it's not amazing. Yeah. Like, it's kind of ass.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard not good things.
I'm sure.
But like, Christopher Nolan found a way to give everybody their time, like, to shine and to actually contribute to a good movie instead of just like popping up and being like, oh, I know that guy. Like, it's not the Leo pointing me watching this movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like just a good fucking movie.
Yeah. That's a trouble movies run into a lot. Is you know, Garrett talks about this a lot. He'll be, you know, you hear this big cast for a movie, but then it's just like, no, everyone, they're just there because like, well, we have to have blah 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 in this, and they have a shitty little scene.
And it, like, when they introduce them, it's like a fourth wall break a little bit, where they're like, wow, look who's here.
Yeah, and right.
It always is like it
they
takes
did
away
that
from
one
the story.
time. This movie, they did that one time.
With who?
Because I
Gary Oldman as Truman.
No,
because I didn't even know that was him.
I didn't know that was him.
Well, I knew it was him, but that wasn't the scene. They did like the thing where it's like they keep the camera off his face, so you don't know who it is.
Oh, it was Casey Affleck.
Casey Affleck.
Yeah.
And I think they wanted Casey Affleck to be some reveal.
See, I didn't take that because I didn't know that was Casey Affleck.
Yeah,
I
don't think he's big enough.
Only kind of know who Casey Affleck is.
Yeah, I don't think he's big. I think that was more just a reveal of like this.
Yeah,
they're trying to set him up to be more menacing.
Yeah, maybe like, I can see that. That's possible. That's just what it felt like.
Oh, that's fucking
me.
Casey Affleck. Now that he's done,
Yeah.
I only like I know of him. I don't really.
I can see where you like.
And maybe it's because I was anticipating it because they were. It did seem to me like they were going. Nolan was like, I don't want them to see his face yet, and so when he was doing that, I was like, this is going to be a big actor, but who is it? Who hasn't like popped
I get
up
that,
yet?
because I was thinking that a little bit too. But I think it was more just setting up how like to give some more like ambiance to the character.
Yeah, right. Like it's ominous.
Yeah,
who's it?
ominous,
Yeah,
that's the word.
Yeah. Maybe, but that was the only time I felt that, because you're right. But everyone else just shows up, and you know, there's a second where you're like, oh shit, and then it's like, oh, Florence Pugh's here. That's cool.
You know what it's like. You know, it's like when getting a little sports action real quick on the Watch Movies podcast. It's like when the Yankees or the Mets just buy this. They spend all this money on a big cast of players. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know how to gel and play together as a team.
The head coach, like the fucking like Aaron Boone sucks.
Yeah,
fucking Buck Showalter sucks. It's like he doesn't know how to manage this fucking like. And then the front office doesn't know how to manage these people.
Yeah, and then you have like a team like the Rays that have these guys and they low budget and they figure it out.
or like the Astros. You know?
Well, the Astros are Nolan.
Well, no, I was gonna say Astros are Nolan because you see Yordan Alvarez walk up and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, Yordan's here, that's cool. And then you see Bregman walk up and you see everyone else. You see Jeremy Pena.
You plug guys in like Justin Verlander into
it works.
Team and
it just
you
flows.
make it work. You
And then Barbie is like right on the line where it's like, yeah, it is a huge cast, and it is like, oh, that person's here.
John Cena.
But that's the point.
Yeah, that's the point.
Exactly.
It's campy. It's
That's
supposed
the
to be over the top. Yeah.
It's the Dodgers.
Let me shout out because we haven't talked about it at all yet. The actors were great and made the movie. The writing's great. Nolan's great. The score by Ludwig. However you say his last name.
To no one's
Lawrence.
surprise, I knew that shit.
He makes that whole movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That score, the way it gives anxiety, the way it shows like beautiful moments, like it makes that whole entire movie.
The noise in this movie is just all of it.
See it in IMAX.
Grabs you.
See it in IMAX because like there are sudden loud like scenes of loudness because we're basically in Oppenheimer's mind most of the time.
Yeah.
And he is like there's that one scene where he's under the bleachers.
Oh my god, best scene of the fucking movie.
Fucking rules.
One of the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, people talk about the bomb exploding, but that scene to me sticks with me more than
the best part of the movie. To me.
And
that's the moment.
Starts fucking like talking to him like he at this point he is like very much like, what the fuck did I do? He was like, I was in pursuit of my own greatness. Yeah. Didn't even think about what we would use this for. And now we're here.
On the surface, he's still like, even his speech is still very like macho and like talking shit. But visually the whole time he's just like,
he's tortured.
And that's that thing I was talking about earlier where it's like Nolan like distills all of these like different ideas and emotions together. That scene is like the perfect example of it. Because you're like, yeah, it is awesome that the U.S. won the war and like all of that. It is like we pulled off this incredible feat of science.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to be happy about that. Like you fucking did it. It was a lot of hard work.
Then reality sets in.
But it's also like, fuck, I just blew up like 200,000 people.
Yeah.
Like,
in an awful way.
Awful.
I think at that point, this movie kind of is like it puts the human race under a microscope, like the whole time. Shitty that we're even at that point.
Yeah,
and they do bring up like the common thing where Japan was so close to surrendering. Yeah. They were already essentially beat. Hitler already had died.
That's still something that's debated to this day.
Yeah, and they like brought it up.
Debated more on fucking Twitter of all places. Yeah, like now after the movie came out,
they brought it up, and it was like pretty prominent. They were like, "Fucking Japan was just about to surrender. Why do that?" And there's actually also that scene where they're sitting there talking about what cities they might bomb. Yeah. Like just I would say the perfect example of like Western imperialism, I'd say, when they're like, we won't bomb Kyoto. It was like, I vacation there with my wife.
Yeah, I'm like, what is
so fucked up?
One of the most fucked up parts of the movie.
That's so fucked up.
Because you're like, bro,
it's so beautiful. It's like that's why, like,
like these, like 200,000, whatever the number of people is, died, and it's like, like that could have been just entirely different people randomly. Like if you were on vacation,
if you didn't like going on vacation there, right?
Like that's like that's the kind of shit we're working with. Yeah, like what?
Yeah, and at the end of it all, it's been a while since I've seen a movie because like this is not a horror movie, and people who say it's a horror movie, shut up, it's not a horror movie.
Yeah, no.
Who the fuck is saying that?
Silly.
But there were people like before like saying like it's actually a horror movie, and I'm like, I watched it and I was like, this is not.
It's not even a thriller. You could say it's suspenseful, but it's not like even.
It's just
thriller, really,
because it really does get existential at the end, which can scare you because death scares everyone, but also made me scared to be alive today when such a bar. Like honestly, I've never seen a Nolan ending better than this.
What a fucking closure!
It honestly. Fucking badass that when he talks to Einstein, it's in like Louis Strauss's perspective, like
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. You see him talk and all that, and you're like,
Yeah, they
I
set it
saw
up
that,
way
part of the
earlier in the
trailer.
movie.
Yeah.
The beginning.
And then he was like pissed about the whole time, like they were talking shit about me, all that.
What did
And
you
he's
say
turning,
to
he's turning the
him?
scientists against me, and then Han Solo was like, maybe they didn't say anything about you at all.
They're talking about something more important.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
exactly.
it's not. Yeah, maybe something more important than
yeah.
you.
And the
yeah.
fucking in the bar that fucking Killian pulled out of his acting chops, where he said, "Remember those calculations I brought to you about."
Setting off a chain reaction.
Oh yeah, like destroying the world.
Yeah, setting up a chain reaction that would destroy the world.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, I remember him quite well." Einstein says, "I remember him quite well." He goes, "I believe that we did." And it starts showing, like, I mean, he's sitting in that cockpit, and there's like rockets flying
Yeah.
above him, and like the Earth's blowing up and
then
shit.
the last shot's just him, and he's like, he blinks, and it fucking goes to black.
Oh my god,
It's so good.
Those
Oh my
shots,
God.
whatever lens he was using, and
70 millimeter.
Was he using a 70 millimeter?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my god, the way the composition on that shot, like where he's standing and where he's. Oh my god, it's just beautiful.
yeah. Well, I don't know if that's actually a lens. I know it was shot on 70 millimeter IMAX film.
Yeah, it was
Most
shot
of the
on
movie?
film. Yeah, I just don't know like the setup for that specific shot, like because it was a little distorted, and they did the same exact shot on Emily Blunt earlier in the movie. Where she's like by the clothesline and she's waiting to hear about
Oh yeah,
what's
going
going
to
to happen. Yeah, she knows it's that day and it's windy and she's like staring and it was just beautiful. The composition.
It's
of
so
that.
good. I
fucking love that movie.
That's one of my favorite like types of endings. Is like the I've won, but at what cost?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
That
Yeah.
always goes hard in movies for me, and they fucking nailed it here.
Well,
It's
especially
honestly very Thanos at the end of Infinity
yeah,
War.
but especially it's like it's fucking real. It
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah,
Like
it's
and
real.
it's still
real
affecting our
thing.
lives today. Like we still have. I mean, after that was the Cold War and then the Cuban Missile Crisis and
Yeah.
like all the everything.
Well, they mentioned the Cold War coming up. I mean, after
Yeah.
that, they're like, we
Yeah,
started this Cold
because
War.
the whole basically after the bomb, the famous bomb gets set off when they're testing it. Everyone's looking forward to that scene. It was badass. It was badass as fuck. But then I was like, what are they gonna do? The extra hour after that was the aftermath of, after World War II, and then the Cold War began, and all those reports of like they were creating an H bomb and all that.
Yeah.
And then they're like, how are they doing this, Oppenheimer? Seems like A, you fucking gave them plans, or B, in that whole like board meeting, and like also Louis Strauss is like, turns out he's the fucking op.
He's mega.
RDJ was the op. That was like the twist, which I didn't know that in history.
Me neither.
Yeah, I
Seems
didn't know
like-
that guy existed. So
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
like in the beginning of the
It's
movie, he like fucks with him, he loves him, doesn't fuck with him. He's actually like, I want to fucking bring him down. I want to be his hater.
over nothing.
Yeah, over,
Like he
absolutely.
could have asked him what like he could
honestly, kind of fucking crazy that you can be the worst person in a movie about the guy who made the atomic bomb.
like this guy like killed a lot of people
Yeah.
and you're the villain.
You're the villain.
Yeah.
Harry Truman's literally like, "Fuck them, we ball." Like they died.
Dude, let's talk
We
about
don't
that.
care.
Let's
But-
talk about Harry Truman.
Yeah, dude. The fucking when he was like, I feel like there's blood on my hands.
and he takes out
his
that handkerchief and
You
he
little
starts
bitch.
waving it.
You're gonna
He's
cry.
like, pussy, wipe your tears, bitch.
Crazy.
He's
I
leaving. He's like, calls him a crybaby.
Get
Don't let
that
that cry-
crybaby out of here.
And he was honestly, it was like, bro, like don't trade Henry for my shit. I killed those people. Like those
Yeah.
are my kills, buddy.
Yeah, no, yeah. He was like, dude, don't take my fucking kills.
Don't take my kill.
Now, in no way I'm saying that this movie sympathizes with Oppenheimer.
No, if anything, it paints him to be a
Pretty
villain, kind of.
like yeah, it pays him to be an asshole.
It does, and he is
The
an asshole.
womanizer and all
But
that
also
shit.
like the position that he is in, and you were in his mind the whole time. Really, the whole time, he's not thinking about the consequences. He's in the pursuit of his own greatness, because we're talking about it after, like they're like, a theory can only take you so many places, and
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, that's right. I gotta actually do some shit.
And it's also the whole thing where like the arms race, like they're worried that that the Germans are gonna make a bomb that's gonna be dropped on New York. Like so, when you have
Yeah.
that fear, like you legitimately think we're gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
Like we have to do this. And obviously his ego took over. Like he was
Yeah.
reveling in it a little bit too much.
Yeah,
But
also he had no choice.
yeah, I mean
He
they
had no
kind
choice.
of
He had no
just like they thought they were screwed. They thought America was going to be.
Yeah,
just
if we
fine.
don't do it, they'll do it.
Even his buddy, anybody who was like, I'm not going to be involved in this, they ended up having to be involved in some way. Like his friend, I forget, I don't know his name.
The guy,
the bigger dude who's on the train with him, and he's his buddy.
Yeah, I forgot his. Yeah,
I forgot the actor's name too, but he's really good in it. Also, he's like a dude. I don't know how well anyone knows Superbad. You know Superbad. You know the guy who's like, fucking sing. You're gonna fucking sing.
It's him.
That's him. Yeah, like they're he has range. Like,
Look at that, dude. Good for him.
But anyway, that guy. But like he was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna be involved in killing all these people. Fucking 20 years later, he's in boardrooms like.
Well, also
David Krumholtz.
David Krumholtz. Yeah.
The bar that it was in the trailer that Oppenheimer said. He said, "I know." He's like, "I don't know if we can be trusted with this kind of weapon, but I know the Nazis can't."
Yeah.
He's like, everyone's like, "Fuck, dude, that's like fucking facts."
Yeah. I know, like,
it's
bar.
facts.
Yeah,
dude.
that is a bar.
Yeah. But also, like I said, it just really, but it puts the human race under a microscope because it's even fucked up that we ended up in the grand scheme of things, we ended up in a situation like that where we had to create weapons of mass destruction to fucking end wars, and also potentially begin others. Yeah. Like it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But it happened in history, and also, I mean, like I can't even say this enough. I can't express it enough. Like Christopher Nolan just nailed the dread of it perfectly.
Yeah,
perfectly.
Like, it was just front to back. Honestly, I don't know if personally it's my favorite Nolan movie. It's now top 3 after thinking about it.
We gotta sit with it for a little bit. It came out 2 days ago. Like we gotta
we just saw
we gotta
it
give it a moment.
Yeah,
but like I said, I walked out of that movie like this is why I fucking love movies.
Yes, as a quote unquote film bro, it was amazing. It was everything.
Of course.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get out of here, y'all know me. Gotta give love to my queen, Florence Pugh. She nailed it in her role.
Yeah.
I didn't really know Oppenheimer's story at all. I just knew that he had this girlfriend who wasn't his wife who like killed herself or whatever. Maybe didn't kill herself. Who knows? But she nailed every bit of screen time that she had. Impossible to look away from her for a lot of reasons. But
yeah.
Emily Blunt also fucking nailed it.
She nailed it. Yeah, she was great.
She was so good.
Yeah, I'm starting
also
the
get
Emily
nominated.
Blunt supporting actress campaign.
She's gonna get nominated.
For sure.
Her and Issa Rae. Let's go.
Yeah.
Also, have Nolan make weird shit. Keep having it because he's been doing like since Tenet and even Interstellar. In this one, there's like some weird shit in it. Like specifically, like in that board meeting that they're having. And he reveals to them like I did meet with my girlfriend, Jean, whatever I forgot her name, Tatlock, Jean Tatlock. I did meet with her and stuff, and Emily Blunt like starts imagining them fucking, fucking right there,
so crazy.
And like when you're watching this, and you're like, this is weird, but it's fucking effective.
Yeah,
Like,
very
it
effective.
works.
It's a perfect like metaphor of how she's feeling in that moment. She's like she's feeling that this secret is now exposed to everybody there, and they are basically watching it happen.
Yeah, they're like, oh, she got, like you said, got cucked.
Yeah,
Like,
Mary Poppins got cucked.
And on that note, let's get into our conversation about both movies.
Okay. You have questions?
I have a couple questions,
Okay.
just to kind of compare the whole day because it was a day.
Yeah.
These are two separate movies. Obviously, we talked
Very
about it separately.
different. Yeah.
Let's talk about how this whole moment in time where these movies came out the same day. If you had the choice and you had $10 to your name and you could only see one of those movies in theaters tomorrow or tonight or whatever, which one would you recommend to yourself or somebody to go see?
Depends on how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
See,
All right.
okay.
Is it a Wednesday night or a Saturday night?
It's tonight, a Sunday night.
Today's Saturday.
It's a weekend night.
It's a weekend night. If I'm by myself, I'm gonna go see Oppenheimer. If I'm going no one with me,
Okay.
Oppenheimer.
By yourself, Oppenheimer.
If I'm going with friends, Barbie.
I like that.
If it's me I'm talking about, like I can only pick one to go see. I'm seeing Oppenheimer because like it just Like I said, it made me remember why I fucking love movies.
Yeah.
But if someone asks me which one they should see, and I get like no follow up questions, I'm gonna just say Barbie.
Yeah.
Like
You're
it's
more
it's
guaranteed to have
definitely-
a fun time.
It's
with
definitely
Barbie.
more widely
digestible.
digestible.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
yeah. Like if my mom texts me today and she's like, "Should I see Barbie or Oppenheimer?" I'm gonna say
I
Barbie.
Barbie.
texted my sister to go.
Same
see
thing
it.
for my dad. Honestly, like it's not even just about
Yeah,
my mom. Like
right.
my dad texted me and he was like, "Should I see Barbie or Oppenheimer?" I say Barbie. Like
Yeah.
you know, like
Both. Say both. No.
go on a $5 Tuesday, see
Exactly.
both.
Both.
no,
those.
hey, there you go. That's the answer to the question.
A great idea.
No, but if it's tonight, where tickets are $10 or whatever on a weekend night, for me, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I'm seeing the better movie, Oppenheimer. Like I'm seeing the better movie. Not that I'm just like, whoa, it's cooler, you know? It's fucking. Ooh, oh, I like darker movies. They're cooler. No, it's just the movie that I'm gonna remember beyond this year. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
that's the year. Fucking Oppenheimer. came
Yeah,
out, dude.
I think
I'm gonna remember Barbie beyond.
No,
this
for
year
sure.
As well,
For sure.
I think out of the two, Oppenheimer is the one that is most effective in theaters. Barbie is one that you could easily
Yeah,
watch
Barbie,
on
you
your
could stream
TV and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Very streamable.
But Oppenheimer, like the effect of the sound and the music and the anxiety and like being in a big dark room with a big giant screen, like looking at it, I think has the peak effect of that movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, you just get more bang for your buck with Oppenheimer too.
yeah,
You get
that's
3
true.
hours of
You get 3
film
hours.
versus like any. Maybe it was because we just seen Oppenheimer and I sat in a chair for 3 hours. Barbie flew by. Like
Yeah.
I didn't want it to end. I was like, it's already over. That sucks.
I think okay, so next point, I'll ask the question and then I'll make my point of why I'm asking it. Which movie do you think 5 years from now will be more remembered and looked back on?
Ooh.
Again, that's like
Barbie.
depends because I mean,
Barbie. I think Barbie's going to be. Look, Oppenheimer is going to be one of those movies that people are going to talk about for a long time. But it's not going to be one of those movies that people watch all the time.
True.
Barbie is going to be the movie where 5 years from now, if I'm with someone, let's watch a movie, and someone's like, let's watch Barbie. Yes, of course. If I'm hanging out and someone's like, hey, guys, we're having so much fun.
Let's watch.
You know what we
Oppenheimer.
should do? Watch the 3-hour-long Christopher Nolan Oppenheimer. I'll be like,
That'll
well,
make you
well,
question.
yeah, I don't
To
know.
be fair, Garrett would say that.
You would.
That's true. That is true. But me
Maybe.
personally, I'm like, I think Barbie is just more digestible. Not to use that word all the time, but it's Barbie's will stick with you, and the rewatchability is very high.
Very rewatchable.
I'm going to also say Barbie, but for a different reason. I think there's like we're talking about all this like existential dread of Oppenheimer and things like that. But if you're a woman and you watch Barbie, I just fucking know that like that America Ferrera monologue, like that
Yeah.
grabs you. That
Yeah,
does
it's gonna
something
get
to
you.
you.
Grabs me.
Yeah.
It grabbed me too, but I'm like, I can't imagine watching that as a woman and like hearing her like voice all of these things that
Yeah.
you have probably felt your entire
Yeah.
life,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't know how to
I
say.
probably would have stood up and
Seeing someone say
Fluted.
that, I'm sure that that's like something people like women are going to remember forever
Yeah.
and constantly go back to.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
I guess they're both all right. You know what's funny? The whole thing of like, well, Barbie's pink, Oppenheimer's black. They're like opposites. Even with their like material, it's so opposite because Barbie's also like very much like, hey, very happy to be alive, be a human, and just like can chill out and have a good time.
yeah, humanity
Oppenheimer
is
is
worth
like
it.
Oppenheimer is like, you really, you fucking like being alive, huh? You could
This
be
shit
into, hey,
sucks.
you're gonna be into just like that because of this
Yeah.
fucking guy.
Yeah,
just
it-
because
We
like
could
that,
all
just like
be
that over.
We could all be nuked tomorrow.
Yeah. So yeah, fucking
Yeah,
think about that.
Oppenheimer's literally
Meat.
like this humanity shit ass.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Terrible.
They're like, hey, you know what? Sucks because we're gonna be back in that same position again whatever, whenever, dude.
Could be
So,
tomorrow.
Fucking
Yeah,
think
never
about that meat.
Yeah.
Like, you
well, I
know?
think that's what's so crazy about this double feature, and I don't know if we'll ever see a double feature as good as this because both movies are so different, but so like culturally relevant,
And so fucking good.
and so good, and so like one's a amazingly edited and produced and directed drama, and one's just one of the funniest movies that's come out in a while.
Yeah.
I think for the short term, like next 2-3 years, Barbie will be remembered more. and like talked about and rewatched a ton and like be in the memes and the zeitgeist. But I think like 5 to 10 years from now, people will still look back at Oppenheimer kind of like Dark Knight a little bit, kind of like just like wow, that was one of the best movies like ever made, like in the top 100 or whatever.
Yeah, and I do think like people much younger than all of us, like people like intern Gabe's age, like this is like Oppenheimer is great baby's first cinema. Like you know, like for me, like that movie was Social Network, where it was like, oh, like it clicked. I really fucking like movies.
Movies are cool.
Yeah, like I'm gonna like start looking at these and like discussing them seriously.
Yeah,
Oppenheimer's going to be that for a lot of like younger people, I think.
Yeah.
So you could be right. It could be like
Oppenheimer. They're both going to be talked about for a very long time. This weekend is going to be talked about for a very long time. But yeah, Oppenheimer for sure. 30 years from now, people you talk about Oppenheimer, it's like, goddamn, remember that? That was crazy.
A couple more, but this one, which movie when you went home? Well, we were out. Which movie today, when you woke up throughout the day today? Which movie were you thinking about more?
Barbie.
Oppenheimer.
Huh.
I was thinking about Barbie.
It was Barbie for me as well.
Yeah.
Barbie for me was like, it was great, cut and dry right there. Boom, loved it. Like, don't need to think about it really.
I can't stop thinking about Ken and Barbie. And
I woke up listening to Matchbox.
Yeah, no, that's right. Like the songs, like the fucking "I'm Just Ken" song stuck in my head. I'm just thinking about that. Just how much fun I had. That's what I
looking for the "I Am Knuff" hoodie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, I felt that way. I was like, I cut and dry. I watched it. I took that in. It's in me. I'm just gonna sit with it. It's new information.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like, ooh, I want to do that again. I was kind of thinking about Barbie in a way, like, I really can't wait to watch that again.
Barbie is like, I want to get back into that world right now.
It was so fun and so happy, and it was great.
Okay, so which movie do you think wins the most Oscars? I think it's easily Oppenheimer, but I don't know. I mean, I'm talking about winning. Oppenheimer will for sure be nominated more.
I think Oppenheimer will win the better Oscars, like the more important ones.
Yeah.
But like Barbie, you can be looking at like
set
design, hair and makeup.
Like Ryan,
cinematography.
Ryan might win one. Robbie could win one.
I don't think so. Margot Robbie win an Oscar?
I mean, it came close before.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I don't think Ryan gets. If someone gets nominated, it'll be Margot.
Yeah, and I don't think Ryan.
I think it would be Ryan.
I think it would be Ryan as well. I don't know. I mean,
usually the actor category is a lot less stacked.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
Like even last year, you can look at and you're like, they were just picking any old body to be the best actor.
To be honest, up until this point of this year, it's been kind of weak.
Yeah. Still very early, but
still. I mean, we're halfway through the year, so I mean,
but always they're just backloaded. Oscar season will come up, and then that the race for best actress will by November we could be like, there's no way Margot gets it.
You don't know. I don't. I'm just putting it out there, trying to talk about
I think the key to the answer to the question, Oppenheimer will probably win more. But like Dex said, the big ones. Look, Oppenheimer's going to be in the running for Best Picture, but Best Actor, Best Director, Best all of it, Best Editing,
Supporting Actress,
all of it. But and even I don't know actually, because even Oppenheimer is going to get the sound editing, the sound mixing, the editing, the costumes, the set design,
and so much hinges on whether Dune 2 comes out.
Yeah,
because like they're talking about delaying it till 2024, and if they do that, then Oppenheimer has like the obvious lead on all of the like below the line stuff. But if Dune 2 comes out, Dune 1 swept below the line last time.
Yeah,
it might do it again.
A little prediction. I think by the end of the year, Bradley Cooper's Maestro. I think he's a front runner. Everything I've been hearing about people talk, like I was just listening to the podcast, the Smartless podcast. Ben Affleck was on it.
I have to go listen.
Ben Affleck was saying that the script for Maestro is the best script he's ever read.
Wow.
I need the Bradley Cooper.
And he's
Oscar
like
win.
playing.
I
It's
need
a
it.
biopic, and he's playing. He's doing multiple.
This
years
shit
similar
means
to
something
Cillian
to
Murphy.
me. I need it.
So it's gonna be interesting. All right.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think you're right. I think we might be at the end of the year looking at Maestro.
I think it's
Bradley
between
Cooper,
Bradley and
Maestro,
Cillian.
and Oppenheimer or Cillian Murphy.
And I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is playing Napoleon. Like,
I don't know
I don't
yet.
think that movie's.
I don't know yet. I'm not out on
The
Ridley.
trailer was
I'm not.
I like the
trailer.
trailer.
I will
ass,
never
dude.
sleep on Joaquin Phoenix in the Oscar
Yeah,
race.
I
It's just
like the
weird.
trailer,
Like they're,
too.
he's not. He doesn't even have a French accent. Like it's just
Fuck
weird
it.
to me.
Like
It's just
whatever.
weird.
I think it means a
But
lot. now.
I will never sleep on Joaquin Phoenix in the Oscar race. Just
Yeah.
cannot do it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
cannot
no,
count him
I'm
out.
sure he's gonna be great. It's just.
I just don't. I
And
don't
it's
know.
a
seems like one of
biopic,
those
but
movies where they
The
missed
movie
mark.
doesn't look good, like going off the trailer, but
I like
who knows?
I saw half the trailer before we saw Mission Impossible. Like I hadn't seen any of it. I'd heard of it, and then after that, I went and watched it. Hey man, I'll take it.
It
That
was
looks
like a
dope.
solid 75. To me.
Also,
Maybe.
either a Coen brother or both Coen brothers. I don't remember. They're coming out with a movie that might.
Oh, Joel Cohen, I think.
Yeah, that
I
might
was
make
thinking.
some noise.
we can get more into Oscar.
Yeah, we'll get to
Oscar
those
talk
later.
later.
It's gonna be a good fucking year for
It
movies.
is.
We're
Yeah.
gonna look back and we're gonna be like, that ruled.
Yeah, it's shaping up well. I'm enjoying it.
All right, yeah. I mean that's gonna do it. I think we've
How
talked
long
about
have we
it.
been going?
Hour 15.
The longest episode of Watch
Yeah,
Movies of
I
all
mean it's
time.
Well,
biggest
gonna be-
biggest day of
Yeah.
movies
Yeah.
of the year for sure.
Yeah, it was gonna be the longest always.
Yeah.
It was like it was 2 movies on the same day. Keep doing that, Hollywood.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love
Keep
it.
doing that, like because I
Make it an
haven't seen the
event.
movies popping like that in a bit.
I would much rather 2 movies come out in the same weekend so I can go see both, make it an event,
Yeah.
than like two movies come out back to back. Like, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go this weekend, then I gotta go again next weekend. I gotta like figure out my schedule, my days. Like, it's much better to make it an event. Like, I'm hyped.
Yeah, well, I'm interested. I mean, the theater when we saw Oppenheimer wasn't that popping, but we saw it really early. Barbie, there was a lot of people there.
Popping.
I wonder what it would have been like if you were like, I'm seeing Oppenheimer at like 6:30 or 7, and then Barbie at like 10:30. I bet you it was.
Oh, I'm
it
sure.
was pumped. I bet
Especially
everyone
on
was-
Friday night.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like on a Friday or Saturday night, like
because
tonight.
we went at 4. And it
Yeah,
was
we
popping.
went-
Like,
yeah.
if we went at like 9.
I kind of just want to go see those crowds and just
Yeah.
feel that. I love when a lot of people are at the movie
Love the
theater and
energy.
excited.
It's my favorite.
We love
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
And you should watch movies.
You should watch movies. Watch both of these movies.
Yeah.
If you haven't already and you listen to this, that fucking all right. You fucking just
Yeah, I
you
guess.
you just know a bunch of shit that's gonna happen in the movies now.
Yeah.
But
Jokes on you.
yeah.
Good job, Kins.
Thanks for watching, guys. Go watch the movies immediately because they're both great. They're both great. If you have a preference over one, that's fine. Just
Drop
love
a
them both.
comment. Let us know.
Drop
Yeah.
like, hey, yeah, what?
Which movie will you be thinking about 5 years from now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
let us
why?
know.
And why? Please tell us why. But yeah, boys. On to you know what's funny? We've been talking about Barbenheimer for months. So I don't know.
what do we
how to
have
find
now?
the
I
next
don't know.
fucking thing to talk about. So
Haunted Mansion. Here we go.
Oh, yay.
all right, on to the next episodes
Yeah.
and on to the next movies. But guys, watch movies.
Bye, Barbie.
Bye, Barbie.
See ya.
Oh, hey. Happy you're here. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notifications for all the content we do over here with the reactions, the podcasts, the whatever the hells we do. What else do? We do a lot of stuff. So enjoy it. Oh.